Hey guys, this video is just going to be kind of showing you uh, how to find logs like these. So if you live in a bushland area like I do. So firstly, obviously safety, you got to make sure there's no snakes or whatever. I do live in Australia, so it is winter at the moment, but still, you don't want to startle a snake and maybe frighten it, so make sure you watch where you're going and be loud as possible because you don't want to frighten one. Also make sure you got a phone with you and either a dog or a person. Yeah, just so in case something does happen you don't want to turn out like Aaron Ralston. So yeah, so firstly I got most of these logs from not too far in. Just see there's a few fallen trees just around the place, and yeah, so I just went a little further down and yeah, I found these. So this one is like a root, which I think will clean up really nicely. Like you can see with the bark peeled off here, it's a really nice orange wood there. And yeah, so I cleaned that up. It's got a lot of dirt on it and everything. So that will be like a stand, and then they can crawl along that, like centronetted and stuff. This one is pretty interesting. It's got a nice little green bit here, which is cool. But I'll probably chop that off there, because that's got really no use to me, and then I'll just keep that, because it is a hollow. Then we've got this one, which is the coolest one, I think. It's got nice hollow cork there, and then it's got a bit that's been ripped out here, and then another cork, so I can split that into about two, I think. One about there-ish, and then like cut it here, and then cut it about here. I think that'd be pretty cool. And then finally, this one, which is just an ordinary hollow. It's filled with dirt at the moment, but yeah, I thought it was pretty cool. Like you could stand it up like that maybe, or yeah, it's just alright. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm just like a few meters down that way, maybe 200 meters, so I'm just gonna walk these back, do a few trips, and then yeah, I'll be back. Alright, so I was just about there. Did 3 trips, so yeah, got all of them. And just before anyone jumps me in the comments, obviously these are going to be cleaned and soaked in hot water, and if they can fit, put in the oven. So they're completely safe if you do it correctly to put them in your enclosures. Now it's a different story for outdoor enclosures, obviously, but yeah, you still want to do the same thing. So yeah, what I'm going to do is just going to take these all down just by my pool, just so I can wash them off with the hose and everything, and then I'll probably soak them in hot water. I'll show all this on video, but just giving you a heads up. So this might be a long video, so yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back, and we tried to spray these with a high pressure cleaner yesterday when I made the first segments of the video, but it wasn't working. So I had to go to school today, and then my dad did it for me, so it's a shame I couldn't film it, but this is what this one turned out like. So you can see the nice clean wood, and it's got some pretty cool little things in here. I'm gonna have to actually sand this one, just like the spikes off, because they are quite sharp. This one, basically the same. Looks pretty much the same, just a little bit cleaner. These two, this one, a piece fell out of the middle, but that's probably a good thing, because then I can make, like here, chop it off here, and then here again, so I can make, I don't know, it's a bit of, I think it gives them 4 openings actually, so it's probably a bit better. And this one, it looks basically the same, so yeah, just nice and clean. So this is the high pressure cleaner we use. So it's a pretty high tech one, I don't know. So it's like a petrol one, but really this step isn't really necessary, it just makes the whole process a lot easier. So this is pretty much optional. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to fill up the bath, because these couldn't fit in like a tub or something. What I'm going to do is fill up the bath with as hot water as I can out of the tap, and then I'll show you me placing these in to kill the ants and all the eggs and bugs that are inside them. So I'll be back. Okay, so, well, firstly, sorry for the echo. I am in the bathroom, but I have this fully filled with as hot as the water that can come out of the tap. So, got all the logs up here, and this is basically the equipment you'll need. Obviously, you'll need gloves, because it's going to be extremely hot. You'll need only one brush, but this one is good because it can actually get inside the logs for like a hollow log, and then that one just like a main one for like the outside, just scrubbing all the remaining dirt or whatever off there. So, I think the bath isn't big. I don't think the bath is big enough to fit this one in. But it could fit that one maybe. Those two definitely. But I'm not actually going to show you me scrubbing them, because I'd have to use two hands while doing it. So I'm just going to do all of these, and then I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I just finished cleaning them off. So you can see how much dirt was still on them after the high pressure clean. So the next step would be to put them in the oven, but our oven is nowhere near big enough to fit those three there, the three largest. I could definitely fit that one in, but with these three, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put them all in the sun. It is pretty late now, so it's not sunny, but tomorrow, just before I go to school, I'll put them out on the veranda, so it's nice and sunny, and hopefully that'll dry them completely out by the time I get home. But before I do that, I'm just going to leave them to soak in the bath for a while, because as you can see, there's some ants still coming out, and that'll give them a chance to drown, and just everything a chance to drown. So also, if you have a pool and it's a big one like that, I'd put it in there for a bit as well, if it can't fit, obviously. So yeah, I'll be back for the next step. Okay, so the next step, once they're all dry, so even on the inside, like when they're hollow, even on the inside they need to be dry. So the next step is fitting it to your enclosure and taking away anything that could damage or injure your reptile or wherever you're putting this. So an example would be these type of thorns and spikes. So this here, that could definitely damage, like say a lizard or a snake. They're really sharp. So I'm going to need to sand that down just with a cork, little block and sandpaper. And then this one is the right size. I'm not going to do anything to that. This one is definitely too big. I'm still not actually sure what I'm doing with this one, but I think it's going to go possibly in the snake enclosure or maybe outside. Not too sure yet, but I'm just going to chop it about here, I think. Because this side, I don't know, this side's okay. I might just set that aside and not use it at the moment. But that side is cool. And then this one, I've measured it and tried to put it in the enclosure for the snake enclosure. And this is too long, this like bit here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and snap it first so it still looks natural. And then if that doesn't work, then I'll saw it. So yeah, the other piece is doesn't need any work, so yeah, that's where that one is. So yeah, I'll be back when I've finished. Okay, so firstly, this one, there were a lot of spikes on it, like a lot. Like there were a few along here, just like the noticeable big ones, but then as you got further down, it just like got heaps of little spiky things like you can see in here. There were a lot, but now I've smoothed them all out so they can't damage anything. And that actually tore up the sandpaper a little bit. So yeah. Then for this one, so that's the other bit there. So I just chopped it off there. And yeah, I think that looks pretty good. I might actually use this for the snake enclosure, just because it's got that little porthole there. And I think it looks a bit better than this one, because as soon as I chopped this thing off, it lost its look, I think. Like now, it just, I don't know, it doesn't look as good as it used to. So I might just put this outside maybe, or yeah, put this outside, then put this outside, put that outside, sorry, this one outside, and those two inside. Because, I'm not sure if you watched my previous videos, but I don't really have much room at, like, yeah, except for my steak enclosure. Like, I've already got a log in the center netted and every other enclosure, so yeah, what I'm going to do next is maybe like vacuum them out, but I won't video that. It's just a boring bit in this video. Is going long enough, so yeah, I'll be back when I've maybe put them in the enclosures. Okay, so I went to put this one in, and it is way too high. Like, that'll get far too hot. They won't even bask there, it's that hot. So what I'm thinking is maybe chop it off here. No. Chop it off here. So that way that is in the very corner, so it's still not under the light. Like, it's not directly under that, so they can still bask there. And then by the time it gets to the light, like to the actual spot, they'll only be about here, which is low enough. So yeah, I'm going to do that. So yeah, I'll be back in a sec. Okay, so you can see what I had to do there. I had to cut off this one here. I'll just open it. I had to cut off that one and most of that one, like I said I would. And also there was one right at the back there that I had to cut just so I could push it up against the wall pretty much. It's the central netted, just its dot. Let's see if I can get it. There we go. So yeah, I threw a bit of sand on it just to, I don't know, I might actually sweep some of that off. It's a bit much. But yeah, just to get some behind it and everything. I did have to take that rock out that was just there, because I could fit it somewhere else in the cage. Like, I was going to put it like there or here, but it just didn't look right. So yeah. Another addition that's going to happen to this enclosure is a cactus and a larger water bowl as well. So yeah, now I'll get on to the snake one. Okay, so that is where I think that log is going to go. It's pretty hard to tell right now because of the temporary enclosure. If you don't know what I'm talking about, or like you're not subscribed, just watch some of my previous videos and you'll understand. So Scarlet is in there, I think. Yeah, she's out and about. Just, you can see her tail there, just there. So yeah, like I said, it's a bit hard to kind of locate things without, with the temporary enclosure being in there, but eventually that hide will be over here, and I have another hide, and then the water bowl, and then the humidity box, and all different types of things. So yeah, that's a bit tricky to do right now. The other logs that I have, I think I might just leave them for a bit, so I won't put them in this video because this video is going far too long. Not sure why it's that bad. I think it's over 10 minutes, I'm not sure. But yeah, those logs I'll probably just put outside because I don't have any more room at the moment. So yeah, also just letting you guys know that I won't, I'm like not responsible for any injury or to yourself or like, or your reptile or whatever you're doing this for. So yeah, just make sure you take all the safety precautions that you can. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Hopefully this helped a bit if you're looking to like maybe clean a cool log you've found or something like that. So yeah, that's what you do. So thanks for watching. See ya.